Alright, welcome back to the, what should hopefully be the last part of the creatures overview drawing. So, I already got done with the coloring process of the three main creatures in the background. So what we're going to be doing today, simply put, is we are going to be shading and texturing these creatures in, and hopefully getting the background and all that stuff done within at least 2 hours. And then after that, I gotta get a Minecraft video made. Now, this is probably not going to be posted on Friday. Chances are it's going to be posted on Saturday, so I have more than enough time to be able to write all the description and stuff. There's a lot to be done here, right? A whole lot to be done. As you can tell, the fact that we're 4 parts in, and still not even given the background. But it makes sense. The creature's overview is a huge drawing thing. It's got a whole bunch of creatures to show off, as well as explain like the types of creatures and what are the more common, frequent elementals that the creatures acquire. Although not to say that some of them are like locked out of certain elements due to like, their classes. You can have like a pyro fish. It's just a matter of like what region you would mostly see them in. Like, I don't know, a pyro fish in an area with a lot of heat vents? Probably. Fire-breathing fish? It wouldn't be as strange if, for a fact that, the fire could probably still, like, work underwater if the creature also utilizes some combination of, like, air bubbles that still has oxygen in it, therefore heating up the water surrounding it. It's a possibility. This is a fantasy scenario, but it still uses somewhat realistic principles. And I gotta try to, figure out what those realistic principles are. So, yes, there is definitely going to be a decent amount to talk about when it comes to that, so I'm going to need to have another day before I can post it. I am glad, though, that we got this 4 day, because this would have taken ages if I only had, a minimum of 6 hours a day. I might not even have been able to complete this within a week. But who knows? Who knows? There's a lot to be done here. I kind of have a headache, though, so this is probably going to be a little bit more chill. At the same time, there's not really how much I could talk about story-wise at the moment without going too deeply into certain duplicate stories. But we'll see how this goes. So yes, as you have seen in the beginning, we have 3 more creatures, and they are pretty large. But I will say that some of them aren't outright extremely large. And the best example I can give y'all for that is the Golem. The Golem, that's right over here. Now, Golems are the one thing that could at least somewhat closely resemble like a human in armor. Because of the fact that, they're inanimate objects that utilizes an extreme amount of magic. I probably would be able to better explain it. What's wrong, Cadillac? Oh, now the cat's in attack mode. Actually wants to attack my hand while I'm trying to help her. Nope, she's still doing it. But, yes. The golems are able to take many shapes and forms depending on how much magic and mana are placed within them. As I say, mana because that is essentially what the main source of, the magic is all at. It's all mana. Which makes sense. What's wrong, Cadillac? Getting too excited now? So, aside from that, we also got the Leviathan over there to the right. And those are the ones that are mostly, large. Same with, wyverns to an extent. Which is what I'm working on right now, the type of wyvern. This is the world dragon. You see the world dragon in that one drawing, and trust me, this dragon is actually very far away. Probably gonna have a bunch of hills and stuff right here, and it gets smaller and smaller. Have a shadow underneath something here. It's gonna be hard for me to portray that, but this dragon's actually miles away. Trust me. This dragon, it's 100 miles from your current location and approaching rapidly. Start running. It's not like you're going to be able to run away from this thing, though. The fact that it's able to catch up to you from miles away, especially given the size of this creature, it's insane. I think the world dragon I believe I made is the biggest dragon in this universe. And there's a story to them. The world dragons weren't always dangerous. There was a city that had once built their, settlement near one of the World Tree branches, an area where a world dragon would consistently, reside in. However, as soon as the Elemental's reborn occurred, the world dragon became extremely territorial and then just demolished the entire city. The city did not get a chance to evacuate. Many people died, probably only like a few survivors. I mean, let's be honest, it's going to be very difficult to avoid a dragon that's literally the size of a moon, not a moon, but it definitely is huge. The fact that I'm almost comparing it to the moon means that this thing is huge, and you don't want to mess with it unless you have an insane amount of mana and an insane amount of defensive protection abilities. Because its physical strength alone will be very difficult to counteract with simply just a mana alone. Of course, this creature does also have some form of magic abilities. I imagine like some mana, nature-esque kind of breath attack. Not fire, obviously. This creature wouldn't have a fire breath attack, otherwise it would be burning down the world tree whenever something gets close to it. And yes, if it sees a creature, no matter how small, it will go after it and myrtleize them. The entire purpose of the World Dragon after the Elemental's Reborn event is to be extremely territorial. An area where the entirety of the surface, at least not the underground, thankfully, because this creature is unable to get underground. If it sees you, you're dead. If it sees you anywhere near its general territory, you're dead. Even if you're like far outside its territory, if it's able to see you from that far, which is not possible because it doesn't exactly have that good of eyesight, it does have good enough eyesight to see you from like almost miles away, but in terms of like not kilometer, that's the same as a mile, except a little bit more different. If it's like, I don't know, over 1,000 miles, maybe that's the limit, but who knows. As it stands right now, there's not a whole lot of information with the World Dragon yet. And we don't plan on doing that just yet. Yeah, I had the World Dragon drawn from a side perspective, which looks a hell of a lot better than the front perspective. It's like the whole Family Guy thing. You can't really have your characters facing forward, because then they're going to look strange. Dang old perspective and all that. Oh yeah, I was talking about size-wise. This golem is just one of the larger golems. There's a thing with golems. The longer they live, the greater their size can be. Doesn't mean that their size is going to be completely, ginormous. Some golems stick with the small size for like a good long while. And the way that works is... depending on the region that they all reside in, their size could be stunted for some time, or it could be increased effectively. Like I said, golems are only able to essentially grow or become alive with, mana. Got a headache. Give me a second, I gotta take a drink. Hopefully quell this headache a bit. Also, what the hell is this that I'm looking at? Oh, right, I forgot. Why is that like that? Whatever, it doesn't matter. I could just do this. Wait, no, I can't, because then that's going to be an issue. Why don't I just move this over here? No. No, you fool. Come on, grab the freaking thing, you stupid idiot. There. I'll just move these off to the side and simply just No, I could just stretch it. Why not? Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Easy as that. No, then. On to what I was saying before. Golems are able to grow in size the same way they're able to come into existence, via an area with a huge amount of mana. That's essentially how golems are able to come into the world. It's because of certain naturally increased mana environments. Meaning, let's say if there's like a ginormous lake, right, or an ocean. An ocean would be a good example. Near the bottom of the ocean, there would be a crap ton of no wait, this is all the same layer, I forgot. There'd be a crap ton of golems down there, of course. I mean, they wouldn't all be in the same area. And there are certain restrictions when it comes to it population-wise. If there's too many golems in one area, the magic mana distribution is out of whack, and then you'd end up with a whole bunch of mini golems all over the place. If you have an area with a bunch of smaller golems, chances of a larger golem coming out is not that common. Even more so rarer when it comes to a golem of this size, which, by the way, this golem is about, from this perspective, from where this creature is, about 20 meters back. The same with this guy over here, ocean over here, although slightly less bigger. And of course, this guy is miles away, which is terrifying, because a mile in this particular, if you're able to see that thing from a mile away and it looks like it should be right in front of your face, you know damn well you don't want to mess with it. But yes, golems. There are certain limitations for golems. That's basically how they reproduce. Because golems don't have the same reproduction system as all the other creatures here do, they can only really become increasing in numbers if they have an area where there's a bunch of mana in the place. Emphasis on the fact that golems create nests. And I guess technically speaking, they are gathering the materials to be able to make another golem. So say there's a nest filled with a crap ton of rocks or wood, or depending on what kind of materials golems are, more privy to. This one right here is mixing wood and stone. There are many different types of golem species, as there is with mammals and all that other stuff. You got the Ent species, you got stone golems. I don't know whether... Is there, what's the Ent equivalent for a golem made out of stone? Or, any... You know how... Aren't Ents technically, inanimate objects regardless? I guess you wouldn't categorize them as golems in other series, but in this one, Ents are golems. But I highly doubt anybody will comment, but if you do comment, please let me know what the Ent equivalent of a living stone golem is. That would be very helpful. But yes, stone golems, metal golems, dirt golems, even sand golems, all the different types of golems. There's some golems that have hybrids. There's some golems that are like this one I said before, stone and wood. Dirt and wood is kind of common. Dirt and stone's also kind of, dirt and stones are the ones that are common. Wood leaves, wood and vines. It's stuff like that makes the golems, hybrids. If it's two different materials being added in, or more than two, it doesn't matter, the number. The minimum for a hybrid golem is 2. And that's what golems usually are. Hybrids are the most commons you come across, depending on what region you find them in. A mountainous area with a bunch of fallen branches and stuff, potentially you'll find some more commons, or hybrids, I mean. Or a mountainous area barren of any material, you'll just find stone golems up there. And depending on the area that the golems are building their nests in, and depending on what kind of mana they accumulate in that area, that will determine what the golem will come out as. Most commonly, I can think of right at the top of my head, in mountains, you usually will come across ice golems or wind golems. Aqua ice and zephyr wind. Occasionally you might find an electric one, maybe on rare occasions a gravity one, but I don't know if that would work as well. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. When it comes to gravity, there's only like 2 different types of spells you can come off with that. Say in the mountains, a Zephyr Gravity Golem would essentially have lightweight based gravity attacks, where it makes the object that it's about to propel at you extremely light, and propel at you at a very fast instance, and then once it's out of the gravity manipulation range, the weight of the object is placed back, and then it's like you're being hit by a giant boulder that's being tossed at like 100 miles per hour, and then boom, you're just dead. You don't have enough physical force to be able to prevent you from getting turned into a, well, honestly, I don't know what you would turn into. A red mist? But then again, you're being hit by a very heavy object. It's like being hit by a truck, so I don't know. You'll be a mangled mess, at least. That much I can say for a fact. And maybe go deep underground if you get to like the further down, closer to the core area, you can find the Zephyr Gravity Golems that essentially just makes the area around it heavier. I don't know how that would be in terms of what would the main attacks be? With lightweight, you can easily have it be like a certain, like I said before, make a boulder light, and then once it gets out of range of the throwing area, it gets heavy. But what can you do with heavy? I mean, I guess what you could do is make the area so heavy that the other people can't move in it. And obviously, if the golem is accustomed to an area like that, what's going to be you're going to be in tar while that golem's on ice. And this is actually, I can't believe I screwed this up. Hold on, this is an easy fix, don't worry. This is an easy fix. Anyways. Yeah, that would make sense. So the golem's able to move incredibly fast within its own heavy gravity area. I'd have to imagine that removing the gravity... Well, no. I guess it depends. Because golems don't have muscles. They're mostly consistent on, the properties of their material that they're made out of. Well, I guess if the gravity golem is also made out of a very light material, it might be able to move through it. Or we could go down the mana route and say that because of its mana efficiency at that particular level, it's able to resist its own gravity spell, so it's able to move quickly. That would make the most sense. Golems aren't able to formulate some form of muscle, and the bigger they get, well, the slower they can be. And there's another thing with this that I think a lot of people would hate this particular aspect even more. So everybody have this flooding damage in their basements and all that crap, right? Flooding damage in general. And this is a thing that you gotta really be worried about in this universe. Even though it's easy to fix, if you have somebody who's able to if you have an aqua mage user, an aqua water user, that's what I'm looking for. You can easily have them manipulate the water and have it controlled, bring all the water up, all that stuff. Some probably have a system for that, for a fee. You know how much of a pain it is to clear out a basement full of water? Well, it's not that much of an issue for an aqua mage user or aqua water user, Jesus Christ. However, if you do not do anything to pick up that water, if you don't call what would we call a plumber? A drainer? Probably a drainer. I don't know. Well, it's not important. We're not like focusing on job aspects just yet. But if you don't call someone to clean up all that water, and if you leave it there for too long, chances are you might get a golem in your basement. The golem might take some of the materials of your house and turn it into its, living body. This aspect by itself is very dangerous, because golems are not something to be messed with. I mean, seriously. Golems are the most magically heavy creatures in this universe, and while yes, a lot of creatures do have a crap ton of magic due to the regions that they live in, the golems definitely take the cake with being the most stronger creature out of all of them, simply just by themselves. Or I think by a collective, at the very least. And there's a few things to take into consideration with a water damage-based golem in your basement that's flooded. If your basement has some vines coming out of it, or not coming out of it, near it, if the golem takes control of some stone wall, takes that out, and then has some vines to work with, then it's going to become a aqua water / nature foliage based golem. It's going to have water type spells and foliage type spells, most of which is physical, vine stuff, the vines are already there, or it could even accumulate more vines out of nothingness. Simply put, it's not good to leave water damage alone in this universe. You leave water damage here, you could ruin your house. What are you looking at, cat? But if you leave water damage alone in the Elementals Reborn universe, chances are you're going to get killed. Assuming you leave it there long enough for the golem to form into this giant thing that will break out of your basement, level half of your first floor, and then go out and just wreak havoc across the city. Even though it's a pain in the ass to having to deal with these golems, I feel like that's kind of the natural instinct of this universe. Oh no, golem attack, everybody run to safety, stuff like that. And then you call in some of the city's guards or something, the quote unquote police force to handle it. I imagine they would get fined for their ineptitude of leaving the freaking golem unchecked, or leaving their basement unchecked. Which makes sense. I mean, if you don't do anything with the water damage, you clearly are going to have an issue. But that would be another thing. That would have to be a necessity then. You can't pay for that stuff. Or at least it has to be done, and then they give you a fine or something, or not a fine, a bill that you don't have to pay immediately because, like I said before, this is a very detrimental thing for this society's means of living. A golem coming out of a water-damaged basement and the guy can't pay for it immediately means that the entire city is at risk. So actually, is it right for them to have to pay for it? Because that just seems like a force of nature that you have to fix before it gets out of hand. I don't know. Nobody really thought about that, huh? No, but I don't even think there is an anime out there that has utilized that particular hour, anything out there, any media. I think this might be the first time this is actually being used. Water damage, causing golems to arrive in your building. Seriously, what are you supposed to do? These freaking creatures just come up out of nowhere if you leave your basement unchecked, and you're gonna be well, when the hell did this happen? Son, how often do you check your basement? Because if it flooded recently, you're gonna have some problems with a giant golem attempting to murder you and your family. But of course, it seems like something people want to get fixed immediately, so I don't know. Realistically speaking, it doesn't make any sense to have people pay for water damage that they don't have control over, especially if the water damage potentially could lead to a bunch of people dying. That's the extreme of it here. Now, how long does it take for a golem to form? That I can't really say for sure. I guess it would depend on just how much mana is within the region. Like, okay, let's think. An area filled with water damage. Compared to a lake and an ocean, it would have to take a little while longer for a golem to be made at that point, right? And of course, a golem in an ocean area at the bottom of the seafloor will probably be able to form within like a, I don't know, day or two. It depends. First off, it depends on how much mana flows through the area. You also have to calculate just how much mana is flowing. Yeah, you also have to take into consideration like the limit as to when a golem is going to be created via its, the amount of magic within it. There is, however, a mana, I guess you could call it graph almost. Did I put it in here? I don't. Yeah, I did. Yeah, there is a strength section of mana alongside dexterity, constitution, intelligence, agility, mind, and luck. 7 of that stuff there. And there's a whole lot to that, but I'm not going to explain it right now. I got to focus on this and try to at least get this done with like today, preferably today. The drawing today. Well, I guess yes. Still, technically, it is 2:36. I am kind of afternoon shift, so it does make sense for me to stick to this particular schedule throughout the entirety of it all. But as I was saying, the amount of mana that you'd have to calculate to figure out like how much is necessary for the golem to turn into a golem, for the inanimate object to turn into a golem. And you also got to take into consideration the amount of time it takes for the golem to grab more materials to grow onto its crap. I really wish I could lock this godforsaken thing in so I don't keep moving it every time I do work up here. But yes, there has to be a way to calculate it all. Golems, when they first come into existence, start off of like 1 brick. So chances are you might not even notice it until it's, too late. If an object becomes infused with enough magic to be turned into a golem, then what that golem has to do is it needs to be able to find more objects to add to it, stick to it, and add on to it until it can get enough materials to turn itself into a moving inanimate object. Say okay, here's a good example. Let's say this golem, it started with this triangular piece here. And it was near a piece of stone. And some of that stone was near a bunch of wood. Branches with some leaves on it. That would explain why there's a bunch of branches here. And then it takes all the dirt. Yes, these little pieces are dirt. This is thicker tree branches, probably. Just about. Or maybe this... No, because this is a different shade. So yes, that's a thicker, different wood-colored branch. I mean, there are wood types around like a bunch of other wood types, so it does make sense. So it takes most of the stone, most of the dirt, and has been combining all of that stuff together, and has been doing so for probably maybe, I don't know, a year now. The golems do have somewhat of an aging process. Golems are essentially immortal. Their aging process is not the same as ours. The more mana they acquire, the more materials they can add to their body, and the larger they can get. I would say this because this is actually a pretty cool concept. A golem could potentially become essentially can become an entire city. If a city has been abandoned for long enough. Now, this would take ages, though. So, don't forget the amount of time it takes to have a whole bunch of mana inputted into an object takes ages. And if a city is built into, an area where there's not a whole lot of, mana flow, it might not even occur. chances are the acceleration of a golem city has to be made via the people who once lived in that city. Now, why the hell would they want to, make a golem city, which could potentially cause mayhem and destruction? I don't know. Actually, a good example. So yes, there is a golem city where the entire city is literally breathing. All right. And within that city, there's a bunch of mini golems walking around the golem city, which are essentially just building up slowly all the materials needed to be able to accumulate, more mana or something. I don't know. And the city, what it is, here's a castle, here's a giant wall, and here's the city. So, the entire city, including the walls, including the castle, is a golem. However, the golem does not have enough ability or mana to be able to get itself formed and able to actually move. And when I say a golem breathes, it's not the same way you and me breathe. The way golems breathe, simply put, is the mana within them flowing out and coming back in. It's kind of like taking in mana, a bunch of mana, and then flowing it out in order to regulate it through its system. Kind of like, blood going through veins, almost. And what it does is it makes sure that the amount of, objects that's within the golem is constantly getting a steady flow of mana as the mana breathes in and breathes out, allowing it to essentially be alive and needing to breathe to be able to get to stay alive. I mean, if it doesn't breathe, here's an example. The golem does not have any mana within the area. The golem is deprived of any mana. Its mana reserves will start to run low, and it will be on a timer. And it's a pretty long timer if the golem is big. If they're small, the chances of that golem living is reduced even further. I don't want to explain this. No mana in the area whatsoever. The mana will stop flowing, and the golem will start breathing. It'll stop breathing, and then it will slowly try to find more mana sources. Because it's in an area where there's no mana. The longer it stays there, the less intense the amount of the less mana is flowing through its body, until eventually starts to fade out. Because certain items, there's a limit to how do I explain it? There's a timer to certain items or objects when it comes to mana. It slowly dies out. An object with a crap ton of mana will last a little bit longer. So this golem, if it's deprived of a mana flow, chances are it's going to still be kicking and alive for maybe a week or a month. I don't exactly know the calculations for it yet. I mean, part of me does kind of want to make mana calculations, but I don't exactly know how I'm going to do that. How do y'all made those calculations way back in the past? How did y'all make that? It just seems very complicated to try to keep track of some calculations. Maybe I'll try it. I'll try it one day to have mana calculations for this universe. But for now, I'm just spitballing what I had idea-wise. Anyways, so yeah, the golem is able to slowly run out of mana at a certain rate. That's why if a golem is left unchecked, it will continuously grow out. It doesn't matter how long it takes, it will continuously grow out. So, now, how do you deal with these golems? If the golems are constantly growing right, and they have this never-ending supply of mana to, take from, how do you actually kill a golem? Oh, great question. So the golem's using the mana to keep the integrity of its objects essentially intact. How this works in this universe, I haven't looked into it too much, but the attributes of mana in an object slowly degrades the more wear and tear it acquires. So, I think luck is a good example. The higher the amount of luck that an object has, the greater chance it has to, be as sturdy as possible. If it's a low luck level, then the material has a greater chance of breaking. I don't know if it should be chance or if it should be if luck goes to 0, then the material breaks. Or maybe the material gets a hell of a lot more dingy and is unable to contain anything. Say, okay, here's a good example. Here's a hammer. Okay, wood is its own mana area. We're going into the texture part now, so I'm gonna texture now and explain without visuals. So wood has its own mana part. Same with the stone, it has its own mana part. And then there's the nail in between, or maybe not stone, maybe metal. Metal makes the most sense. I should put backstampers in that layer. So the materials within it, the wood, the metal, and the nails, they all have their own separate mana. God damn it. Jaw, not neck. Stop clicking on neck. They all have their own separate mana distributions. Of course, if you have a advanced, the blacksmith, they are able to combine those into the one tool entirely. Now, this is just assuming you're a regular blacksmith with no mana, flow skills or anything like that. I'm still on that. Are you kidding me? A blacksmith with no skills to be able to put mana into it will not be able to combine the effects of that tool. Unlike, it'll have the separate mana throughout each part used into it. That's why mana-infused tools are perfect, because no matter how low the luck is, the tool will not fall apart until it reaches 0. Yeah, I think that's good. If you have an advanced mage user in the entirety of blacksmithing, then you will be able to combine it so that you have more use out of it. You can still use a hammer the same way as you would with the mono infuse. You just have to maintain all of its parts instead of having it be combined. I feel like that's a nice way to do it. Maybe you don't have to worry about it too much because it's pretty easy on how fast it is. I think combining mana attributes of certain materials together is it has to be at least a basic skill. One that all mage users can do, unless you just suck at using magic. Then, in other words, you're probably not going to be able to do it or do anything at all. And I would have to imagine there are some people out there who aren't as attuned to mana as much as most people. I wouldn't say not completely out of luck. There's this one character that I had in mind who's a guy who utilizes science. Because don't forget, the world in this place still utilizes the same chemical reactions, stuff like that. It's just that mana makes things a hell of a lot easier to actually create those particular attributes. You want to get fire? Well, if you don't have the ability to make a fire with mana, you're going to have to go on ahead and get a lighter. Or, you can make a lighter. Especially if you are, advanced into the ability to actually do stuff like that. You still need fuel for it. You're not going to, be able to beat out a pyro fire user with your lighter, because they'll just be able to snap their fingers and have a fire just appear out of their thumb, I guess. And there's also what else? What else is a good example? Electricity. See, Zephyr electric users are like the perfect mage users when it comes to making like a efficient power source, because they're essentially an infinite walking, generating, battery. So long as they have enough mana within their systems to actually be able to make more of electricity. So they essentially make it easier to get power. All they gotta do is, maybe they're like some Zephyr electric users who, have a job going to the medieval-esque power plant, quote unquote. I mean, the fantasy world, the Elementals Reborn, it does have like the medieval-esque buildings, the castle, the villages, stuff, and all that stuff. But there are still like some medieval equivalent to stuff like batteries, primarily because of the fact that their entire world consists of a whole bunch of these ginormous ancient creatures, and you don't want to waste a whole bunch of materials building stuff that are just going to be broken down because these creatures are a pain in the ass to contend with. That's not the only reason, but I do like the fantasy aspect of Elementals Reborn. Castles, villages, stuff like that. Maybe adobe buildings. I mean, we technically have that in the Oceanic Vista, the Leviathan Kingdom, alongside the Desert Kingdom that Domadora resides in, and like before the main series kicks off. But yeah, we don't exactly have a whole bunch of like too modern looking buildings. We don't have houses like that we do. Right? They don't have houses like we do. I should say not. Oh god, tired. Tired as hell, and I'm trying to explain a whole bunch, which I suck at explaining. I hope most of this stuff ain't going over your head. Because, it's hard for me to explain. But, I would say the science guy has, like, a more modern-looking house, because, like I said before, this guy is utilizing science as his main source of being able to, live out there. He's living out there in the wild, and he's creating, like, actual weaponry. Because in this universe, what you have consistently is wands and melee weapons. There are no guns, alright? Even though you could probably make a gun, it kind of feels redundant because you... Actually, wasn't it one of the... Yeah, I think I said one of the, Elementals Reborn. One of the spells was like Flame Bullet or Fire Bullet or something. Yeah, Fire Bullet. You could literally just like, or like, I don't know, whatever hand gesture, make this and shoot a fire bullet. It's almost the equivalent of an actual bullet gun. Probably even more dangerous because, like I said, it's all elemental. Hell, nature users could, nature earth users would be able to actually make metal bullets in like probably I don't know what way they do it, but they probably have some like chain reaction explosion to like actually shoot the bullet off. Needless to say, with the ability to create most stuff using their own mana, guns seem kind of redundant. But of course, a person who doesn't really utilize mana that much could easily use a gun, or create a gun. Although, I'm not sure, like, what kind of gun they would make. Maybe it's this guy's been living out here for, like, ages, right? Because he's got all this stuff here, he's got this battery, this generator, all that stuff. Is this thing... Okay, it is changing colors. It's very slight and not noticeable. But if this guy has been living out in the wilds for a while now, he obviously has to have a crap ton of gadgets and gizmos that you would see in our universe, but not in the universe of which the Elementals Reborn universe is. But, I question, though, would a gun be able to kill something of this caliber? I don't think that would work. Especially with a creature of this size, unless you have a gun or a laser, like, blasting gun, which is possible. Neon would be, like, perfect for laser-esque stuff. That's or plasma, I mean, not neon. Plasma is basically used for laser, and I guess it would be possible to try to utilize that to be able to make laser weaponry. But would that be possible in a world like this? What would you need to make it like a highly condensed beam of fire? Enough to make it plasma-like, you know? Oh wait, I have a scale layer. Why don't I use that? Can you even see that? Is this big enough? Kind of. I can't tell. I'll rotate a little bit just because. I mean, I have to imagine it is possible to, at the very least. Oh yeah, and by to by, there's going to be like a wave here. That's why this is up, and because it wouldn't make any sense if the water went up this way, you know, like that way. There's going to be a wave, like a tsunami, kind of like a little. And it's going to be hard for me to like actually like perceive that, but I'm going to try it at least. Body 2, okay. Rotate it the other way. Yes, here. But yeah, I feel like it might be possible to create a laser plasma-based weaponry, especially if you have like perfect subjects to be able to like study and examine what is within the pyroplasma users, like, you know, plasma spells. It might not be that easy to get the materials to actually make it, but I mean, if you're out there all on your own, able to survive these big creature attacks, I'm still going to add this crack layer here just to like break up the monotony of the weird wavy look. But yeah, I imagine being able to survive out here with like very powerful weaponry that could surpass most magic users' stuff. Because don't forget, these creatures utilize magic, right? Most of them utilize magic as well as physical, like attacks and stuff. Like most of the physical stuff involves piercing, slashing, and impact. Like the three main source of physical damage, so to speak. And what that means is that a lot of the creatures out there who like utilize mostly elemental stuff, while they do have some weaknesses to certain elements, they also have some high resistance, which is where physical attacks would come into play. So a bullet from an actual gun might be able to fell a decent amount of creatures. And you shouldn't be too sorry for most of these creatures because some of them attack people out of the blue. I mean, yeah, it's because of the elemental's rebirth and all that crap, but still, the man's trying to defend himself or get some food to survive. Clearly, there's like some issues surviving out here in the wild. And if you're going to be playing a pacifist against all the creatures here, you're probably going to die within the first day. Which is why it is very important to want to have a significant amount of firepower on you, whether that be through an actual gun or your spells. And especially if you are like a jack of trade of all spells. Life magic users have it easier because they can utilize all the spells. And so long as they know what the creature is mostly made out of, they'll be able to fell the creature without too much issues. So long as, they're able to block or dodge the creature's attacks, if they do attack first. But other people, they have to utilize a team. Or they can use, overpowering mana, which is possible. You can overpower, aqua water user with a crap ton of pyro fire. If your pyro fire attack is strong enough, it could potentially evaporate all of the water of the, the aqua water user. making it so you are able to destroy their attack and then have your attack go at them. Of course, that's assuming you have enough mana strength. They give it like, what's her name again? Sisgolion from Black Clover. It's Meliana, whatever. I can't remember. They give it like her. Because of her like fire magic being so goddamn powerful, she's able to completely negate all of the enemy's attacks, which is pretty cool. And by the way, pretty favorite character right here. I like dominating women, and she is definitely a dominating woman. Now then, we're almost done with the texturing process, so we're about to go over to the background, which is going to be interesting to say the least. So the background, it's basically going to be in the distant Alpines, like I said before. Just a reminder in case you all forgot. I'm going to make this be a bit more metal-esque. Make a little strap there, like, yeah, it's just about there. Alright, good, great, fantastic. So now that that is here, I forgot to save this, but I'll do it now so I don't forget in case I decide to draw this creature again. What is this creature, you may ask? I don't know. I would probably call it, Mountainous Golem? I'm not even sure if I'm spelling mountainous right. I don't think I need the I there, do I? Okay, well, I forgot the one I. Yeah, no, the I has to be moved. You can't see it, but I'm saying it. The I is in the wrong side of the N. Mountainous Golem. Maybe the Golem part can be like changed up or something else, but I don't know yet. Like I said before, I don't exactly know. Oh god, I did not want to do that. You can't see that, so everything is fine on your end. Okay. Oh man, I'm looking at this freaking just an Alpines drawing. Man, I'm really proud of this one. If you haven't looked at the Viger Cape drawing, I suggest you look at it because my god, I like the way that turned out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to replicate the, the what do you call it here, but I'll try. So, oops, I did not want to do that. So, grab the thing. Get through up here is on a little mound. Oh yeah, I forgot about his shield, huh? I think we can quickly swoosh that shield right in. Where is it? Get through. Here it is. And rock shield. You will only be able to see the front, or the back, not the front. Now let's go on over to good old get through over here, Put a shield right over here. Shield. And now we got a bunch of rocks. These rocks should do it. Gonna put these rocks together. You can't see this, but I'm gonna do this. Don't know why the brightness is like that. I guess the brightness can be 5 at the very least, like slightly changes some of the colors of the rocks a bit. I don't want it to completely cover all of the creatures, so I'm going to put it like right here in the form of a shield. The cat's licking her tail furiously. I don't know why she's licking her tail so furiously. She's focusing all of her efforts on her tail. The tip of her tail, by the way. Alright, there we go. Rock. We don't have to do too much with this, actually. All it is a floating rock. Do I want to put an aura around it? It's fine, it says. We don't necessarily need aura that much. But, oh wait, this is 5. No wonder why it's not completely changing the thing as much as it could be. I don't know why I call it Shield 1A, since this is the only shield that there will be. Alright. Rock that up, and gonna probably put a highlight around it here. Yeah, indeed, in fact, indubitably. Yes, I think. Maybe a little bit of shadows and then highlights and dodge highlights. Yeah, that should work. Alright, back to what we were doing before. I can probably get rid of... Actually, I'm going to go to Distant Alpines and get that swatch out and ready to do its thing. Here it is. Distant Alpines, yes. Gonna have like a rock over here. Maybe we'll have some sand over here to kind of like break off from the monotony or something. I don't know. Tiny bit of sand? I haven't figured that out yet. Well, I haven't got that far yet. So here's the sand over here. Sands over there. I did not mean to connect that, you fool. Probably have the sand end about right here. Yeah. Right there. Right on the refrigerator. That way we get to see it every morning. I don't want too much sand, though. We need just enough sand to, at the very least, showcase that that is the edge of the beach. The edge of the beach right there. We don't want too much sand. Otherwise, you're just going to have a whole bunch of sand, not a whole bunch of alpines. Thinking about like having like a little, I don't know, a river here almost. How would, or not a river, a hill. Yeah, we can have a hill there. Why not? It'll make it easier for us to like distribute the far perspectives at least. Oh God. Could you please, for the love of all that is evil, stop moving the godforsaken windows? Jesus Christ. Why is it like this? I'm going to have clouds back behind these guys, but first I'm going to, at the very least, get the background done with, which should hopefully not take as long as it should. Now, here's a question. I guess I can have to go back a little bit further so it, has this here. The fog is going to be used to kind of, separate the... oh, wait, I gotta just close this and see where this is at. I could put most of the foreground on the golem here and then have his foot behind that. Yeah, sure, why not? Or its foot. The golems do not have genders because they are unable to reproduce. The golems would probably just be called its because they are literally just stone and wood. There might be some golems that, okay, I don't know why I did that, you're not even going to see that. There might be some golems that take certain forms of, masculine figures or even feminine figures, but regardless, they do not have a gender. You cannot stick your dick in that, or you cannot have them stick their dick in you. I'm sorry. What they really want to do is take their hands and smash your head with it. Just take their hands and just... Look at that big hand right there. That's big enough to smash your entire body. And, yes, you got, these fish over here. I'm gonna try to figure this out. Here, right now, it's just making it look like yeah, it makes sense. The Leviathan is technically supposed to be a giant sea creature, so this does work. And with this golem here, behind only one of them, means that it's not that big, but it's still pretty big. I know if you see a golem that's like an elder, or a large golem that's an elder. If you see a golem like the size of a house, that's an elder-sized golem. And it can get even bigger. There's no limit to how big a golem can get. Like I said before, Golem City does exist. And no, it's not a bunch of golems, mini golems running around shouting my precious. No, it's these giant stone and wood creatures getting ready to mess your day up. And, yeah, you don't want it. Trust me, it's not a fun time. Part of me kind of wants to have the land wrap around the Leviathan, but I think I'm going to just make that all water instead. And I'm going to have the world tree up here. And yes, so if you've seen the Viger Cave drawing, you know that the world tree's trunks are huge. How big is it, you may ask? I don't know. I'm going to have this kind of Wait, a tsunami, right? Yeah, that's another thing to take into consideration. If a Leviathan, decides it wants to come out of the water at like a very forceful rate, Leviathans are this. Okay, so I don't know how are tsunamis formed in our world, right? Okay, how are tsunamis formed? Let's figure this out right here. Tsunamis are caused by earthquakes on converging tectonic plate boundaries. However, tsunamis can also be caused by landslides, volcanic activities, certain types of weather, and possibly near-Earth objects, colliding with or exploding above the ocean. So, Leviathans are huge, right? That is a given. And the world that this is, this world that has been made is probably like far out into the void of space. Because, all right, like I said in that one drawing, what was it? The one with the goddess of light holding that wand. The goddess of light and the god of darkness, they made this world utilizing all of the magic that they possess. Meaning, they made it out in the middle of space, out in the middle of the void. There is very little of anything out there. You still see the stars in this world, but that's because you're only seeing the area far out into space. It's like they chose an area outside of the main galaxy spew. They can still see the stars there. But yes, that's the point. This world is made out in what would be considered like a normal place, but we have two actual literal gods coming out and making a world. So the chances of an actual asteroid or meteorite in this area occurring is very little to none, because they are so far away from everything that if there were to be an asteroid on a trajectory path, it would take probably, I don't know, let's say 1 billion digits. Yes, the number we're thinking about is 1 billion digits. It would take that long, in years, that's right, in years, for an asteroid to even get to this particular point. So we have to rule the asteroids out to cause tsunamis. This world does have volcanoes. Does it have quakes? I don't know. I mean, the way this world is made by a core with a bunch of like wood or stone, dirt, and all the other earth materials built up one piece by piece. It's not like we have a similar system to Earth because of the way it's set up. Oh wait, I do want that to be down. Hiccups. So chances are, we might not have any significant quakes or anything of that nature. So, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. We could have quakes, coming up alongside this. So yes, Leviathans can cause tsunamis alongside quakes. Just make it easier on ourselves. We don't need to make it too complex. All right, I'm gonna have all this stuff be above the golem, just because why not? It'll make it easier for me to combine. All right, so how did I do this? Did I have it be dirt here? Roots, grass, iron, rocks, dirt. Okay, dirt's over here for some reason. But that's fine. I'll have dirt for the up close one. We don't have sand here, but we can easily just make one. I do want the stone to be above the dirt, so let me see. Which rock do I want to go for? I guess I could go for light here up front. And then darker one down here. No, wrong one. And do I have anything else here? Okay, I have roots, but that's it. I don't think I have anything cliff-wise. I guess I could still make that stone. Sure, why not? Darker. I'm going to make it even darker as it goes downwards. I am curious to see just how much more I can make in this entire drawing. Right now you're only seeing the dirt. We haven't added the grass yet, and that will be in a bit. Right now I need to make sand. I gotta figure out what color I want the sand to be here. It's gotta be a good color for like the Alpines. It gotta like kind of match a bit. So what do you think? Yellow? Brighter yellow greens? Yeah, just about. Sure, why not? Okay, so grass time. This is all the grass, correct? Yeah. So now we're going to go on ahead and fill this entire area up with grass. And because of the way this is set up, this might be the last of the grass. We'll see. Oh wait, no, you need to be under the dirt, right? I forgot about that tidbit. Alright, here we go. Grass time. It will be 100 here. And don't worry, I will put some grass over again through so that it, combines properly. I'm not going to have grass be all over this, though. I'm going to have some dirt patches here to kind of, like, differentiate it a little bit. Okay, why are you biting your foot now? I know you need to wash yourself, but you don't have to bite yourself in the process. Cadillac over here being strange. Alright, a little bit of a dirt patch here, nothing too hectic. Not too much there, actually. And, yeah, okay. I'm going to go over to Game Through now, above him, all of him. Make a grass layer here and combine the grass here like so. Anybody wonder how I've done that with the grass there? This is how I do it. I make a layer above the layers and Bob's your uncle. You know what? I'm going to do another one here above the stone. Maybe a little bit here as well. I kind of like have it encompass that a bit. Alright, good. And maybe just a tiny bit here just to combine this. And good, perfect, fantastic. Now we focus on the grass here. There's still going to be 100, because of where the animals are. I say that's a good size. And of course, these four are like closer to the animals, running away from the giant things chasing them. Of course, the fish are running closer to the shallows, so the Leviathan far in the back can't get to them. And don't worry, the fog will make it easier for you to differentiate the distance that the creatures are. Okay, I'll probably. Okay, wait, hold on. Ah, crapoler. Okay, I'm gonna move the Leviathan down, the Leviathan folder. Can I move it? Thank you. Okay, I thought that changed something there, but it didn't. It's fine. And I'm gonna have the Wyvern here. And you might not even have a background folder here, depending on like where we need to put all the fog and stuff. Alright, go back to grass. The fog is indeed rather important because it is necessary to determine how far certain objects are. So the more faded the object is, fog-wise, foghorn, leghorn-wise, the further the object appears to be. The more fog on the object, the more far it appears to be. I'm not replicating his voice, and I'm not even trying. I'm just trying to get the Kentucky-esque voice that he has. Is that Kentucky? I only think of Kentucky Fried Chicken when I think of foghorn, leghorn because of the accent. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. My brain works in mysterious ways. If you try to understand it, you're only going to go insane. I mean, that statement is very true because of the Flintstone stories that I've made, as well as the Duke stories. Although the Duke stories are hilarious. Especially the one with Grandmaster Xenos. That one was hilarious. I don't think I can really top that one. I can only just create decent ones that have to like fill up slots and stuff like that, But it's fine. Anyways, yes, the fog will definitely make it look like these creatures are further away. Right now, it looks like the creatures are right up their ass. Right now, the perspective looks off as hell, but do not worry. That is why we have the fog layer. The fog layer will be the thing that puts this all together nicely. And of course, the creatures are going to be rather up close to these two, so they're all going to be, everyone up here are going to be on the same fog layer. So fog layer. Technically, yeah, it's a layer within a layer. All right, I'm gonna increase the size of this a bit, scatter a bit more counts there. Now we should be able to get a lot more in, possibly, potentially, maybe a little bit more. I gotta be careful with this one because the more we have in the count department, the longer it's gonna take to actually, get all this stuff filled in. And the further out we go, we're gonna have like some stones and stuff here and there. How much are we in? An hour and 10 minutes in? All right, good time. I'm going to just extend this as long as I can to ensure that I have everything here where it needs to be. Oh, we're still unmuted. Good, everything is still up. We haven't accidentally pressed 9 and brought my face up. We're still golden win, which is great. What are you doing, cat? Sounded like she was moving her dish. Her dish? Okay, her dish is almost empty. But she just got her refill at... Oh, God, where is it? I can't see it now. Oh, God, where is it? Okay, there it is. Don't you hate it when it gets so small that you can't even see it, the mouse cursor anymore? Yeah. I'm probably going to have 30 be the limit here just so I don't, go overboard. It's fine because this is going to be a giant hill. I'm going to have this kind of, encompass the dirt so the dirt doesn't, Let me see. There's no way to really tell with this. You need to have an actual dirt layer to show off there and have it be the main reference point. Yeah, realistically, canon-wise, all these creatures here don't make sense. They would not be in the distant Alpines. They're only here to make the scene and also showcase all the different types of creatures. This isn't a scene that's happening. This is a joke scene where somehow all the creatures are not in there. Like look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. If you can see my mouse, the black and orange guy right there. You would not see him in a region like this. Hell no. This is like a fish out of water, almost. With the fact that these guys are about to jump out of. This guy looks like he's jumping out of land. I mean, that's an easy fix, I guess. Bring the water out a bit, bring the land in a bit by here, I guess. I guess it does kind of make sense if we want to have a giant enclave. I mean, that does look good. Not gonna lie, that does look good. I do kind of want to go for that. I mean, I can make it. Oops. Let me get out of caps lock mode. And I think we're done with the grass layer. Yeah, we're done with the grass. Well, for now, at least. We might need to actually. You know what? Let me do this now, so I have an easier time to turn. Yeah, now it's taking ages to save. Let me do this now. Get it out of the way and over with. And then, yeah. So this will be over. Go. Wait, no, not dirt. Not dirt. And also, that's the wrong layer. Grass. The grass color. Is this the color I want to use? Yeah, that'll work. Because if I use the dark one, it's going to look too dark. Alright, that covers that for at least that department. I'm going to at least cover it, or color everything in before I do anything significant. So here I go, doing just that. I'll do the water first. Did I have any? No, I just had a bunch of tree-looking objects in the background. Looking back at this, and I'm wondering if I'm missing something here, but I think the reason why it's so dull looking in there and faded in is because of the effects that I added in. It looks like this because the effects changed so much in the final product that you don't really notice, or no, not notice, that words, where are the words? Where are the words that I am looking for? Okay, that's the water, right? That's the watercolor I used? Yeah, alright, good. I'm going to go up to the Leviathan and go above his body here. Is this the body? No, wait, where's the body? Is this it? Yeah, here it is. Water 1B. That's a huge tsunami, too. Hold on. I feel like I need to make this more flatter looking. Flat looking like this almost. Just imagine a giant ass sea creature just like probably around a mile away trying to catch these small ass creatures here as he's all the way over there. I hope I am able to actually make this look like it's miles away. Right now it doesn't look like it because we don't have all of the shading and all the texturing as well as the fog in. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we'll actually be able to manage to make it look like it, or it's just going to look weird perspective-wise. You kind of have to accept it as it is, and this has to be underneath the tree. Do I want to have any branches coming off of this? I guess we could. I guess we gotta have a branch like right here to fill in this little space just a bit. Alright, Cadillac, I don't understand why you keep going into this scoffing fit.
Man, you need some assistance? Do I have to play with you to get you out of these scoffing fit?
Yeah, as soon as the cat is going into attack mode, she's about ready to stop scoffing. No, she's still scoffing. I don't know. I know I shouldn't have to be worried, but I'm still worried. There's a lot of nonsense with all these freaking problems happening throughout all of our lives. Ow. And this strange freaking tearing sensation over here. I don't know, it feels like it's a tear, but it's probably not. Why the hell do organic bodies suck so much? I know, cat, you probably would rather be a... Oh, no. I screwed that up. I also screwed that up. Let me see if I can... Oh, wait. Yeah, as soon as I grab this, he stops scoffing, goes into freaking attack mode, and is about ready to attack the freaking laser pointer that doesn't have a back. Oh, now she starts scoffing again. Cat, please. I don't know what to do. They say it's fine, but it just feels like you don't want that to happen, cat. Maybe I gotta like change your diet or something. It's gas, I believe, right? It is gas, we know that much for a fact. I only really feed her like one can a day, and I got like dry food bowl filled up as up to the brim, and she eats that over time. That's not something she immediately gets rid of. You know, the dry food kind of just like stays there for probably about a week before it's empty. This like there's a certain animal that like constantly eats. No matter how much food there is, they'll just keep on eating until they go fat. Cats and dogs aren't like that, apparently. I should know because I have 2 dogs up there that don't eat a whole bunch when, it's their own food. But, so help me God, if you have a bag of shredded cheese, they will just run down the stairs and beg for cheese. The old dog over here. Alright, I'm going to shade all this in now. I think now is about a good time to start shading it in. So, yes, indeed. In fact, it is now a good time to start shading all of this in. There is still more that I want to do to the quote-unquote foreground. I mean, how would you even, like, compare, classify most of them? No, go to grass. Oh, no, lad, you know the rules. And so do I. Yes, indeed, in fact. This is the foreground, and I want to add more to the foreground. I think once I've gotten the background pretty much set and done with, I'm going to add a little cloud there, see if I can make the tsunami look more like a tsunami instead of a strange amorphous blob over here. It's going to be difficult. when it comes to nature, water is not my forte. I can't make waves as easily. You've seen my drawing techniques. I haven't figured out a good way to make waves utilizing my style without making it look completely off-looking or off-putting. Oh, I forgot about the grass underneath all of y'all's. Hold on, I'm gonna put the grass underneath all of y'all's. How could I forget the grass? God damn, how the hell did I forget the grass? What? Did I forget the grass? How could I forget the damn grass? Use. Just kidding, people. I'm just kidding. Don't worry. There's no reason to freak out yet. Oh god, everything is gridlocked here. I'm gonna save just in case. Alright, Broskis, Domadora. Grass, I don't know, 1E is this. Kind of like fill this in over here, you know, stuff like that. And now, how am I gonna do this? I guess I could put like one grass layer over the winterfowl creature, which is this thing. I don't remember if I exclaimed that's the winterfowl. That's what that creature is called. Little bunny over here. Legs a little bit up, so I put a little bit of grass there. Grass here. Oh god. I'm gonna have to like figure out how to like combine most of this stuff. Oh god. Don't go to the blur layer just yet. This part might not matter too much because of how skinny its legs are and the fact that its body is elevated. We'll see. We'll see. You're floating. I think you're also kind of floating. You're not, but you're not even. It doesn't even look like it. I think you're like the only one, so I'm gonna have to go down to the wall bear. Wall bear. Still strange names, but you know what? Strange names is good. Instead of having like a brown bear or any like basic bitch names, you know. Yeah, most of that is. Wait, hold on. How to what? Excuse me. Excuse me. How the hell did I forget that? Oh, it's fine. I'll just clone it. Okay, apparently I can't clone it because I didn't get some of that too. It's fine. It's fine. We can fix it. It's an easy fix. Easy clap. I'm going over to the grass layer up here. I'm going to cover that grass up and that grass over here so it blends in with the grass down there. That's the wrong grass layer, you fool. Go to the freaking grass 1F right now, not 1D. You know, even though this feels kind of pointless because the fact that it's a skinny body, that's kind of fine. You kind of stay as well. All right, awesome. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, no. That is also fine. We don't have to do anything there. Perfect, great. Okay, now that the grass has been shaded in, it's time for this, which, by the way, I also kind of need to do something here, actually. I guess if I am going to be doing that, why don't I expand the water levels like so? Yeah. And for this one, I don't even have to like delete it. I could just keep it as is, I think, maybe. Alright, perfect. Take me to a sand now. We're going to try to carefully merge the sand layer like so. And after we finished merging it, we're going to merge it even more, but at a more healthier rate. Alright, I'm going to bring this down by a small bit. And I'm going to bring this down by a small bit as well. About right here. For this one, we don't have to worry about that too much. I'll probably put this at like, not 10, 50 opacity. About right here, about right here. Okay, expand a small bit more here. And it goes into the, what do you call it, layer? The water layer even further. Now we're going to go straight over to water. We're still in the Golem layer, so I gotta skip on over to there. I'm going to go straight into the water here, but have it be darker here, further out it goes. I'm going to have like a water cloud looking like splashing area there to kind of like, you know, do this thing. I'm going to also have some of it here as well. Try to combine this a bit so it looks more like it's on par with everything. Oof, it's difficult to get perspective right, but I think we might be able to manage it if we play our cards correctly. So help me God, if you screw something up though, we're going to be in bad shape. Alright, a little bit more of that, and I might as well try to make this a bit brighter, make this a bit darker here. We're going to have a bunch of, like, what's what I'm looking for, like, clouds, mist, giant, what do you call a bunch of water combined to, like, I don't know, cloud. I'm just going to call it water clouds for now. It's easier on my brain. Easier on my brain, and I don't have to think too much about what the word is actually. Probably like a condensed form of mist. Misty water. But other than that, not really that important. Because right now we got more important things to focus on, like getting the rest of the background finished. We'll focus on the little minor intricate details later. As it stands right now, we need to work on this. Yeah, this is the one that I'm mostly worried about. Okay, hold on. Cooler. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. I'll move it up here, yes. Why not? Maybe not here. Ah, crap. It might be fine. We could put this above the grass 2A layer so the golem isn't completely encompassed by all that. Which makes me wonder, should I put this... Oh wait, no, that is the, right. Actually, yeah, that's perfect to have it on the Leviathan there. Sure, why not? I didn't name the creatures here on the folders. I just have, like, the basic bitch class there. Wyvern, Leviathan, Golem. We know that this is the World Dragon due to a previous drawing, and this is the wrong layer. I don't want to work on it yet. Or is it? Did I... It felt like I was on 2C. That's because I was on 2C. Eesh. Get a little bit of the one over here. That is supposed to look very, very far away, and I'm hoping I am able to portray that as accurately as I can. Perspective is a pain to get when it comes to nature. I can get it sometimes, but other times I'm like, wait, this doesn't look right. With nature, you have, like, not a lot of, like, you know, reference points to work on. With nature, it's kind of like, go in and do it. It might look good, it might not. When it comes to building stuff, you can follow, like, a certain guideline, even though I don't follow the guidelines like as much as I should. I probably should try to follow the guidelines of perspective, but I don't know how well that would look. I don't even know how that would work for me in terms of, like, you know, the fact that I used a pen tool. I guess what I could do is have, like, a thick line. Maybe a thick white line with, like, a thin black line in it to kind of, like, get, like, a better understanding of where I need to put certain perspective things in. That actually would be good for building-related stuff. Well, I guess it depends. Like, I don't know, like, how you would do it on a drawing like Oceanic Vista, because the way that works is completely different. You got a lot of elevated areas. It's hard to get a guideline, and I just wing it. That's how I've always done it. I've always just wing it. I mean, sure, it probably would be a hell of a lot easier on me if I didn't just wing everything. But you know what? It's fine. Because it still looks good in the end. I don't have to be full-on, like, professional. Just do what you need to do to get by on certain drawings and make it look good. So long as you always make it look good. It doesn't matter what the design of certain things are, so long as the design isn't too complex or too simple. Just make it look good. For this one, it doesn't matter, these creatures here, because they're just not that important. Like, for something like this, it makes sense, because, you know, simplistic design, you only really need, like, feathers. I guess it's also the same with bear. The wall bear, I should say. I'll put in the sky later. For now, I gotta figure this out. Am I able to see what I used for this texture-wise? Not really, no. I guess what we can do is this first. There's not too much left with the background. Let's be honest. The background isn't going to take ages. Of course, the creatures would take ages because we got so much going on here. There's just a whole lot of creatures, big and small. Like, how many is here? Let's see if we can do some math here. We got 4 of each of the 6 main creature classes that you'd see in our universe. That's 6, 12, 24. Alongside these 4 characters, even though some of them aren't shown all the way, like Genthru, who is the only one who is shown all the way, although you're unable to see his foot, so that 24 is now 28. Alongside you guys, it's 31. That's 31 creations here. 31 animals, quote unquote, because technically we are animals, and she's definitely an animal, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Flirtatious eyebrow raise. But yes, did I put a bunch of mini leaves here? I did kind of put a bunch of mini leaves here. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put a bunch of mini leaves here. Just a bunch of mini leaves around the place. Where is my leaf layer? Yes, I'm not gonna have it be scattering. I'm gonna have it be like this. Yeah, perfect. And yes, these leaves are actually pretty huge leaves. The entire purpose of the World Tree Root is to look like this ginormous thing, right? That's their entire purpose. The World Tree itself is a huge thing, and the World Tree is supposed to have its roots encompass the entirety of the world, so it does make sense that all of its roots would indeed be ginormous. Which looks cool. It does offer a very, very cool look to everything. Now, there is another, tree drawing I have in mind, at some point down in the future. You will see what I mean when the time comes. Did I grab the right one? I grabbed the wrong one. I grabbed B and not A. I could have sworn I clicked A, but no, I guess I didn't let my mouse go off of the freaking thing when that happened. No, did I? It's annoying. I wish it wasn't a case of let the mouse go and it selects it. I wish it was a case of click it and it selects it. I'm sure there's a way to fix that, but I don't know what that is. It gets annoying because it affects so many things in certain ways and shapes and forms, especially if I'm trying to color and texture certain layers. Okay, we're almost done with the basic texturing process in this particular thing. I'm going to have to add all the stone and all the trees and stuff, but I'll do that later. Right now I want to focus on trying to make this part look good. The water. Of course the water is going to be a bit of a pain. You know how much of a pain it is for me to draw water? I made this particular brush here for ripple waves, which looks really good in certain instances, but it's just perfect for the water. I had a certain way of doing water in the past, but now that I've got this, it works perfectly. Purpose. Okay. Alright. Oh, now we're going to go ahead and make this all cloudy. With a chance of crunk. Alright, I'm going to use this over here. So I'm just going to call it water clouds, just to make this easier on my brain and layer department. It's not like you guys can see it. This is what I mean with water clouds. This one particular instance right here. I'm sure it has a name. I just don't know what that name is. Alright, I don't want to go out that far. Apparently we're only slightly zoomed in. Whoops. I do kind of want this to be 20 though. So what this is going to do is going to cover up most of this. I think what I could probably do is have this be a color dynamic. mix and match so that it doesn't look completely white, you know. Has some blues mixed in. But we gotta cover up the edges here slightly. Maybe not all the way for like certain instances. Yeah, that's an army right there. It's something. And it would make sense. The further out you go, the larger the creatures are. The distant Alpines are actually pretty far out. And it would make sense that the world dragons are closer towards the edge of the world because of the giant-ass roots taken up there. Yeah. This is the extent of my capabilities of creating a tsunami wave-looking thing. This is the best that I can really do. I haven't yet figured out the perfect style for it. Of course, I will use the highlight dots technique here to kind of, make some of it like this here, like this, but I'm going to use shadow here for this to kind of like bring that in. Going to use shadow here for this a little bit, you know. Okay, maybe not that much. Tiny bit. Go to mid-tone, do this, and then burn it. Next up, I need to go over to the Leviathan, like question mark? Actually, we could just put water cloud. Whoops. We could just put water clouds here. Yeah. Right here it works to cover in this little spot. And for that one, whoops, that's the wrong one. I could simply just do this, but less bright. Not as bright as that, because that's exposed to, what do you call it? Yes, this Leviathan is, part of its body is behind the tsunami, the other part is leading it. How terrifying would it be to have a sea creature like this create a giant-ass tsunami towards your city? Especially since the tsunami is literally, perspective-wise, right here. Which is close to where this dragon is, which is a mile away. How big is that tsunami? All of y'all's out there who likes that, measuring stuff from a distance. How big is that tsunami? That has to be huge. That has to be big enough to essentially cover the Empire State Building, right? That has to be bigger than the tallest building in the entire world. That has to be, right? Right? It's gotta be. Am I right here, folks? That is a huge-ass tsunami. I just don't know how big... Okay, I'm going to leave that there and just kind of have this go up a bit. Yeah, that's the thing. I try to do stuff with this to make it look decent, but I haven't yet figured out what to do here. Still not exactly to my liking. I mean, yeah, I probably could, make this work if I, do a bunch of line stuff here, but it still doesn't turn out right in my head, at least. I'll try it out, why not? Keep it there, maybe it'll still look good. Yeah, probably, sure, why not? I'm gonna go on ahead and now work towards this. I mean, yeah, that's the best we can do here at the moment, unfortunately. Not a whole lot that I can do here. Alright, I need to go up to, where is it? Here we go, Strand Shark. Okay, Cadillac. Funny, the Strand Shark's only 3 layers. And no, what are you doing? Come on, cat, please stop. Yeah. Trying to figure out what makes her goes into that fit. It's like if you squeeze her too much, she starts farting a bunch. And it's not even like a one fart, she's just like burping and farting at the same time. I think that's what that is. I call it scoffing. Because, it sounds cuter at least. Scoff. I try to mimic a noise to an extent, and it does feel like she's trying to force a burp out. Or a burp or a fart out. Whoops, that's above the nose, and that's not what we want at all, you fool. Right there, okay. And, armored sword nose. I guess I can have the rest be behind those two, so... Oh, yeah, now she stopped. Yeah, there we go. Eel over here, coming out, splashing out. I'll have this be behind the shark to make it look like it's swimming through it. Yeah, I guess about sure, why not? That works. Is this above? No, it's going over the grass. That's not what we want. We don't want you going over the grass. That's still 50. I need to change that back to 100 opacity. I'm not sure how well this is going to work because I put the swordfish in the most strangest spot. Hey, stop scratching the desk. Now, cat goes from Barton and Bourbon. This Christ, Bourbon and Barton to scratching my damn desk. I really need to get her like another scratching post because she's not even using the old one anymore. You've scratched it out, didn't you? Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, I still have to like make a Minecraft video after this just so I can post it Saturday immediately. We still need to get episode 8 out, which is I think the plan for episode 8 is going to, well, you're probably going to see episode 8 before I post all 4 of these like almost 10-hour long videos, almost probably 12 hours. 12 hours of content right there. Okay, maybe not 12 hours. I don't know the exact time we have here, but it's around that point. It's close. Okay, I'm gonna have a bunch of dust clouds behind these guys now. So put that above the golem. Why not? Dust clouds. This is why I'm doing this first, because some of the dust cloud might completely encompass most of the hair, most of the back area, but we'll see. What it's supposed to look like is a giant cloud of all this dust and dirt behind the running hordes of creatures. Oh crap, I'm still on this. Delete that. I need to not have color dynamics on. That's a mistake. This one doesn't need color dynamics, unlike the splash effect that we have here. There we go. Yeah, that makes the most sense. Dirt-esque, I guess what I could do is have somewhat of a slight color combination of a slightly, Actually, yeah, we could do that. We could combine this instead with this color. And yes, there are all of the animals over here running as fast as they can to get away from the giant-ass creatures. It feels kind of pointless because it's only going to take this guy like 30 to 60 seconds to get his ass over to here, or her ass, actually. Little known fact, all the world dragons are actually all females. You can tell because they have the prominently long eyelashes. Imagine trying to get a world dragon eyelash. That would be the world's biggest eyelash right there. Okay, I'm going to use this to create the clouds. And then I'm going to go back to this, go to the highlights, go to this, and boom. So yeah, we don't have to show most of the stone and dirt here. We just have to do it on like the further back layers. I guess what I could do is just like combine it. Oh god. Part of me feels like I should make this a little bit more bigger, because looking at like the upper right side, it still feels like it's a little bit off. I guess I could just like a tiny bit bigger. Hey, stop scratching that. What are you doing? I don't even know if you can see her scratching that. You probably could. Let me see that. Nope. The camera here is in a completely different direction. I should try to get another camera. I need to get another monitor to make Minecraft a bit more easier to, do the thing. Man, we're almost 2 hours in, and we're closing in on finishing up the background. The only thing that'll be left to do is the sky, which is actually rather easy. Especially if I want to have the same sky that I had before. Oh wait, did I forget to texture those boulders? I did, didn't I? Alright, I'm going to switch on over to this and texture these here stone. Okay, that was the wrong stone, you fool. You're supposed to go to stone 1A, but at least these two layers are close together, so I don't have to do much. Staying with stone 1C. If you're gonna jump, cat, jump! Really, cat? There she goes. Ah, you fool. You foolish fool, which is foolish and fool. Alright, I'm gonna make a bunch of stone now. In the back. And what it's going to have is going to have the color dynamics, going to have the other dynamics, so it has the opacity jitter and flow jitter. Now the cat's rolling around, and I don't know what she's doing. No, angle. You can't see this, I don't think. I'm pretty sure you can't see that. I'm just adjusting the brush size. Oh, my back. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna close some layers now to, I got a lot of folders here. There's so many folders here, my god. How many folders are there? Alright, here comes the rocks. Oh, here comes the rocks. Oh, what can it be to, the rock? Not gonna continue that. Don't even know where I'd go for that one. How much further could I take that bit? Probably not that far. You can't see most of the rocks here, so wait. How frequently shown on the rocks? Okay, so some of the rocks are, seen from afar. So these are like a bunch of giant boulders. Think of it like Valheim's plains, giant boulders, kind of that big. Even further behind. Even though you're not even going to really see that detail that well, I'm still putting it in. I'm still putting that detail in. Because why not? It looks cool and I want to do it. A little bit more bigger boulders up close. You're not going to see most of the boulders because of this dust cloud I have bequeathed upon this land. So many of these creatures over here creating a bunch of dust and little dust clouds. Right, this is where most of it. Hey, stop scratching that too. You need to learn to stop scratching shit. Which is the one again? Oh, it's dirt. Right. Okay, I'm in the wrong area. I need to go to a dirt 1C, I think it is called. Why am I doing it this way? Go to here, fool. There we go. We're now where we need to be. Rocks 2B. No, not opacity 50. That's not what we want. I pressed 1 for some reason. Good thing that's the one that's on this side and not the one over at the unlock key, even though I don't have the end thing set up for obvious reasons. Am I in the right area? I am in the right area. I'm just not getting lucky with this. Oh my god, why did I do that? Why was it that? This was the wrong one. I, for some reason, moved the opacity back. Oh, that's right. I pressed 1 and it moved the opacity back to 10. That would explain why that happened. Alright, it's fine. Easy fix. Easy fixes. Now, if only I can remember how I did the iron splotches. That's the question here. I don't know. I think I did a flow of 1. I have the iron here. I have 2 of them, actually. So I think what I did was have this on. I think this still is the same as it ever was? Question mark? Yeah, I'm going to have some iron here, at least here, so you can actually see it. Yeah, just about, I think. Look at this. There's something else to it. Did I add some noise to it? Noise? Did I do something to the texture? I don't think I did something to the texture. God, it's been so long I don't remember. Did I do something to the texture? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So yeah, that'll work. That does somewhat resemble what I did for this. I really need to add some notes, but I didn't really think I was going to be doing distant Alpines again until I thought about this thing. So, it's all good, though. It's all good. We can just put this stuff in and be good. Be happy, Gilmore. All right, 2. Make this a bit smaller. Let me see for a second. Yeah, the further out you went, the more the iron deposits looked further out. Am I going to remember this? Probably not, but at least now I have recorded records. I'll have to fucking go through all the video to figure. Anyway, an hour and 50 in it. Am I going to remember it? Probably not. Maybe I'll make myself like a description note or something. Maybe I should make the flow less that and more up more, like 20 flow here. Yeah, just about. Make it a little bit bigger, but just a little slightly less in terms of, you know. All right, okay, good. Great, I'm going to do this with this then, I guess. Make it a little bit more, texturized looking. You know how it is. Right. Did I do anything else with this? I think I did kind of make it a little bit more darker. Cat over here trying to mess with stuff. What does that look like? I don't know. What is that? Is that highlights? That might be highlights. I don't recall. I'm going to check. God damn it. I don't remember. It's been a while. It's been a while. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of green rocks here to kind of resemble a bunch of... Right. I didn't use the what do you call it, rust? I just used rocks. What are you doing back there? Freaking Christ, cat! I'm trying to lure her over here on the bed. There she is. I know if you heard her whirring. Now the conditions for her scoffing has been met. She overexerted herself. That's right, Cadillac, you overexerted yourself. Oh god, it's 4 a.m. already. Man, it takes ages. Okay, it doesn't look like I did the this one, so I'm not going to have the other dynamic on. I hope I have enough time to be able to get a little extra gaming in for tonight before I sleep. We got Christmas a little bit earlier on Christmas Eve, like, and I mean, that's not early. But we got Christmas in, and I got a decent amount of games here. Of course, I'm going to just play those games on my off time. As I have said before, Minecraft is the game that I'm focusing on doing a bunch of playthroughs on. Let's plays on. We're not technically going through any other games right now until, you know, Minecraft finishes out at some point. I don't know when it'll finish out. Because I am a builder, and I always have some building idea in mind. Regardless of where we're at in the game, I always have something to build. Hey! Jesus Christ, cat, where are you even at right now? Freaking Jesus! Why must cats scratch everything in sight? Alright, this is where we want to be. Trees, beautiful trees, and protein. That tree is on a rock, and I don't want it to be on a rock. Would you stop that cat? I'm going to open this up and grab this thing. She got so excited she couldn't keep it in. I'm sorry, cat, but this thing don't have any batteries. She's looking around. See? No batteries. You can't even see any light here. We removed... Yeah, I know, cat. I need to get the batteries for this freaking thing. They haven't gotten it yet. Cat wants to play with a damn laser pointer, but we don't have batteries because the batteries die down, and I freaking haven't gotten the batteries in like months now. Am I right, cat? Dingo over here wanting to play, but I'm very busy. I know, cat. I'm very busy. What was that about? What was that? It's good to want to be busy at this point in life. Because if YouTube actually does work out, I can do this for a living, and I can be home all day and be here with you all the time. You will eventually get sick of me, cat. Trust me on that. And you need to stop scratching. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, cool. Great, fantastic. Even though those are very far away, and it doesn't really matter too much, I did it anyways, because I like the way it looks. So I'm going to add sparkles to the water now. Before I forget, sparkles to water. Some of the sparkles will probably be deleted, like the ones closer underneath, because, realistically speaking, you wouldn't see sparkles in the water there. And this image is bigger. Now, it's going to be strange to see what this... I mean, unless I use 2732 as a thumbnail size, as per usual. That usually works, except for the freaking Minecraft thumbnail, which I have to bring the quality down by 11 maximum just to be able to actually post it. Why is 2 megabytes a freaking limit for thumbnails? Why are there limits for anything? Couldn't you make it like a little bit bigger? At least 3 gigabytes? Or 3 megabytes, not gigabytes? I mean, how do you get those 4K images in, right? 4K does seem kind of obsessive, though. But I don't really know. To me, I'm kind of content with most stuff. I'm not content with the freaking place that we're living in right now. I went to my cousin's place. Well, cousin's place. They're living at their parents' house right now. Well, not their parents. Her boyfriend's parents. And man, it looks cool. That place looks cool. This place sucks. Freaking living down here in this godforsaken basement to get this cat away from the dogs, and the fact that we have to freaking deal with this freaking cold air in this broken ass window. We literally make like $60 an hour in total, and yet we can't find a place. Whether it be because of this job location or the fact that freaking people are chicken shits and can't handle 2 pit bulls. It's insane. It's annoying. Why? Like, how the... Okay, so obviously there's a lot of other things going on behind the scene outside, like the, having struggles paying rent. But how the hell are you supposed to be, like, living on minimum salary with the freaking prices of everything as it is? It's stupid. This is why we need atomic manipulation technology. We're back to this again. Why did I put the sky layer up here? This made no sense. Would you stop scratching that cat? Do I have to pull this in? I don't even want to pull that in because the freaking bed frame is broken as well. Everything is just breaking. Why does everything break? It needs to stop breaking. Everything needs to stop breaking. We need to implement the freaking mana system in this universe into our universe. Because if we have like somebody who is able to infuse an object with mana, it repairs it and makes it more durable. Or infuse the mana so that the entire thing is combined into one. I don't know. And just getting sick and tired of everything breaking, of everything being so goddamn cheap. Cadillac. It just feels like nothing ever goes good in my life. It feels like everything is kind of stagnating. I don't like it. I wish things would change. Even if I am making more money than most of my freaking, everyone else surrounding me, it just feels like, I don't know. I wish my life went to a different direction. I mean, for God's sakes, I'm now trying to utilize YouTube as a means to attempt to get a better life because my ability to advertise online is terrible. So I'm hoping that my weird personality will help make up for that at some point in this particular instance. Who knows? I sure as hell don't know. We're trying this thing out. Okay, no, not that. Just this. It's so depressing. Even if we are in like a good spot, it's just you can't really help but feel this particular feeling, even if you are in a good spot. Do I have depression? Anytime I wake up and I have to go to work, it takes me like 20 freaking minutes to get out of bed. Anytime I have to go to sleep, I don't freaking want to because there's so much that I want to do when it comes to drawing or, games and stuff of whatnot. I don't know, I must have depression. I mean, it has to be. It's just like personality-wise, you wouldn't expect it with the way I'm acting. Oh, no. I've had some down moments. I try to at least act entertaining. It all sucks. It really does. And I really wish there was a way I can improve upon it. I still have 3 quarters of my life left remaining. I don't want to waste it all in this job, so hopefully we can get somewhere with this. As it stands right now, though, we're at least getting a few decent views in. Good start. First Minecraft video got 15 views, which is a good start. I wasn't really expecting it to get that much, period. So we are making a good start here. It's not like the best start. We're not ranking in hundreds of views. I can't really advertise it on DeviantArt as much as I could. Because, you know, I did advertise it on DeviantArt, but apparently all the hundreds of views of people looking it up on DeviantArt isn't accumulating 100 views on here, so who knows? Maybe views are counted differently when you click on a link from DeviantArt. I don't know. Maybe I actually have like 100 views, but I don't know because of how DeviantArt takes me. Would you stop that, cat? You need to stop doing what you're doing. You need to go back into sleep mode. Enter sleep mode now so that I may be able to do this without any issues. Am I on this? Okay, good, I am on that. I don't want to be on anything other than that. Anything else other than that. I probably said that right the first time now. I'm not putting the details on the emeralds right now. We've worked on this for so long, I have to like end it at some point. So I say what we have is pretty decent enough. We gotta now put in the shadows and the fogs and all that stuff, which is easy enough. Shouldn't take too long. As a matter of fact, let's see. Oh, it's 2 hours in. All right, good. We might be able to get like an hour and 30 minutes right here for the finale. Finale of this. No, don't do that. Press S, not D. Part of me was also wondering if I should draw. Oh, yes, I wand. Yawning over here. But no, it's fine. We don't have to go too much in it. We already got so much in already as is. I can understand why some people don't want to like spend like days on their drawings. Some people want to spend like 4 hours. Because it does get a bit tedious working on the same thing day in and day out. Trust me. 1,000 deviation milestone over there. Good example of my, all the stuff that I did to, get to that point. It is a lot of work. I will say that. And the fact that I'm going out of my way to get this much done with and try to add in this much detail, even though I didn't need to do this, the fact that I'm doing that really shows my conviction when it comes to drawing. Of course, I did attempt a comic, but that takes so much longer. Right now, my current comic cover page drawing with the story and book kind of thing with dialogues and stuff works perfectly for the way I've been doing things, and it's the things that I have always been doing. The only thing new here is the comic book cover. For anybody who doesn't know, all of my deviations, they are all accompanied by a story in the description. So all the mature drawings, definitely all the mature drawings, I think there's only like a few mature drawings that don't have a story because those are like old drawings and there wasn't really much storytelling happening in that area. But all of the mature drawings now have a story. And as well as a bunch of normal drawings for certain things, like Chrome Wars, Elementals Reborn. The story being told in most of those with like the objects that we've drawn involves building up the weapon and explaining how it works. Even Generals, that's story building with the background. We got a little background story with the generals and all that stuff. And more description stuff. There are some drawings that don't have a whole bunch of a description, but, it has some sense of story. I think that looks good. Alright, okay, there we go. So, Shadows 1B. This one's going to be a little bit tricky. How do I do this? Sheesh. This might be tricky because of the way this is set up. What I need to do is grab, not this, but this and that. Add selection. And have that be above where the golem is, right? Oh god, but then the water has to be added in, doesn't it? Does it need to be? No, the water does. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. The shadow is mostly here for the creatures here. So, yeah. We don't even have to do too much in the shadow department here either. Just like little bits and pieces of this and that, you know, and hope we don't accidentally go in. Okay, some of the cloud isn't there, so I'm going to have to be careful with how I set the cloud up. I guess I could probably just delete some of it, so, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's not that big of a deal if it's a little shadow comes into the dust cloud, because we can just delete the cutoff point. No, not. We don't want too much shadows, though. This is broad daylight. We gotta, like, find a good balance. Okay, maybe not a shadow here. Just because, just so we don't, like, combine it too much. I probably should have done this in a much smarter way. I do kind of want to have the shadows here combined with everything else. It does kind of work. But at the same time, there's some intricacies and problems we have to take into consideration. So, yeah. Alright, some shadows of the frog here. Yeah, like for areas like this. Although I guess that could have been made in, like, the bottom layer, but it's fine. At the very least, it combines the grass so we don't have to worry about things being too off. Okay, maybe not like that. Maybe like this, a little bit lower, a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm trying to be more mindful with some of my shading. Obviously, when I'm doing it like this, I'm going to have to, like, sacrifice some spots and get them all shaded in. Not really much you can do in that department. Yeah. Combine, mix, and match this so that the grass is, you know, connected there. It does make sense. You don't want the grass to be a different shade of what you have currently. Now for this guy over here, yeah, because we got so much to, like, put shadows in, because we got so much there to have to put in, this might take a little extra longer, but after we've gotten done with that, the lighting part is easy, and the effects are basically the same as it ever was. The time there is just a little bit, okay, we're going to have to probably delete that bottom portion. I can see it now. Probably wondered if I should have added a little bit more, like, different design for, like, for this guy, like, more, like, design instead of, like, what he has currently with the monotone scales, but it's fine. If we do decide to draw that creature for some reason or another, we can, like, make added adjustments because it's going to be the main focus. These creatures aren't technically the main focus. I mean, they are. The entire drawing, the main focal point is in the description itself with the creatures here kind of being shown. It at least gives you a general idea of what all of these creatures could look like. Their designs, their different looks and appearances. You got, like, creatures like this with the same instance, with this one being completely different, and this one being way different. And you got, like, a giant ant-looking crab thing, alongside a giant purple disc-shaped beetle, alongside a mantis that looks like a frickin' peacock with its bright-ass colors, and alongside a spider. I'm not done with this guy yet, so I'm going to keep shading, which is, just nightmare fuel. That spider is huge, too. Almost bigger than that rabbit. Almost. Maybe not entirely. But a spider that big, that's gotta be terrifying. Yeah, for this we don't have to be too, like, precise, because they're somewhat small. For this one we do have to be somewhat precise. Okay, now that that's been finished, I can do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, almost. See, this is what I mean about, like, the combining it because of the way that's set up. I mean, I guess I could probably shade that grass in a little bit more. I mean, why not? Let's see. A little bit here, a little bit there. Kind of covering most of this to be darker. Same with this area over here, because I'm going to have to make you a little bit darker. Alright, yeah, we can get rid of that. Now, before I do anything else, now that we're done with that portion, let's do this and get rid of these little blemishes to the shadows of the dust. Be careful not to delete too much of the shadows around everything else. It'll be a little bit tricky. Is that everything, or am I missing something? A little bit more. Okay. I think that's it. Possibly, maybe. Hopefully. Maybe there's some shadows here that I'm missing. Yeah, I could probably delete some of it here. Ah, my back. Ah. Oh yeah, there was that story I had in mind with Fred and Barney and the horse laxative gas. But we're almost done with this, and that story does almost kind of draw out for like a little bit. Maybe not by that much, but I don't know. Freaking pick grass 1B or 1A again instead of 1B. Well, I still got the Leviathans to shade in, so it's not like we're, that close to being done. After that, it's the fog, followed by the lighting and the shadow rays. With the shadow rays, easy enough. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And maybe we could finish it off with that. That is the zooming creeper. I need to go to the golem. So I'll have this underneath here. Where is this at? Around here. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We don't have to worry about that. Okay, so this is how the story goes then. Why not? So Fred and Barney are sitting on a couch. Wilma, Betty, and all that. There's no Pebbles, no Bam Bam. None of them exist in this particular play timeline. It's just Fred and Barney. And then they're just sitting down on the couch watching TV when out of nowhere, they have glass windows somehow. A brick is thrown through their glass window, and this brown-looking cloud of gas comes around. Well, maybe not window. A container comes into the window and it emits a brown gas coming out of it in the middle of the living room. Barney gets out of Dodge just in time, but Fred stays there, looking confused, and he is encompassed by the gas. And what this gas is doing to him is it's making him need to take a shit badly. Like real badly, like extremely badly. Like it's kind of like like to a point where you'll dehydrate yourself because you have to shit so badly. And that'll be like the main focal point of this particular story. So Fred just inhales the gas and it's like, oh no. And he slowly moves over to the bathroom. There's like a bunch of bathroom stalls here, like like a restroom or something. Not like an actual bathroom like you would see in a house for some reason. Don't ask me why. Oh god, I didn't realize this. I guess it's fine. We can combine that together. So then Barney walks up to the bathroom stall and is like, Fred? Are you alright, Fred? And then Barney's like, gas, Barney. I think it was horse laxative. And Barney's like, what? What? Seriously, Fred? And Fred's like, yeah, for Barney. I don't think this is going to be good. Barney, I'm going to need a bunch of water, Barney. I think I'm going to dehydrate myself, he says, as he's literally shitting his brains out. And now you're in a 2D setting. Barney's like 2D, similar to like the way, Hugh Neutron move, arms to his side, kind of like that. So now the game starts, and your objective is to acquire a bunch of water bottles and give it to Fred Flintstone while he's on a toilet, shitting his brains out and dehydrating himself. So you go through it, and there's a bunch of these brown gas around the area, and you gotta get around it and get bottles of water refilled and give to Fred. and you gotta get from the tap. You don't have like a bunch of water bottles up here. You gotta you have like a couple of water bottles, or a few KUIs. You can only fill up one at a time. And as Fred drinks it, he tosses it out, the empty bottle, and Barney grabs it and refills it at the sink. And you gotta keep on doing that and make sure Fred's hydration meter, not meteor. I don't know why I said that. Make sure his hydration meter Christ. Make sure his hydration meter stays high. Because if it doesn't stay high, he's going to die on the toilet. His entire guts will be shat out and he will die. So that's your objective. But throughout all of this, you have to avoid the gas, the brown gas all over the place. And if Barney goes into it, he goes in, sniffs a bit because like he's already inhaled it, and then he's like slowly, shamefully walking over to the what do you call it? The bathroom stall. Fred hears the bathroom door opening. He's like, "Oh no, Barney, no, don't tell me." And Barney's like, "Fred, I inhaled the gas." And the end here, the game over here is both of them are on the toilet, and Fred's like, "Well, Barney, at least we can die together." As they're both on the toilet screaming their heads off as a whole bunch of shit comes out. And then they pass out and die from dehydration. What are you looking at, cat? And you get a game over. That's one of the death scenes. The other death scene involves Fred dehydrating himself. If any of them dies once, the game is over. That's simply the plot here. I mean, I don't know if I need to probably do a little bit of this here. Just now. No, that is shadows. Why am I still up here? I need to go down here. So there's other obstacles outside the brown gas. There's a pink gas that gets thrown in. And what this does is make Barney chuckle. It's not even like anything big. It's like... And there's a couple of sequences here that determines how Fred reacts to it. If you get it pretty early on, Fred questions what that was all about. Like, what's happening out there, and this helps it like reduce the amount of stuff you get with the pink gas. Like, because you do have to deal with that a lot. And Barney will be like, "Just inhaled some of this pink gas that made me chuckle." And Fred will be like, "You serious? At least it's not going to make you shit your brains out," or something like that. And now that gives you at least three, what's the word I'm looking for? 3 lives for the gas. That of which, gives you like 3 chances to go into the gas before Fred starts to think you're actually just laughing at him and his misfortunes. But this only comes at, in the early part when this happens. Later on, let's say probably mid-game point, when you get caught into pink gas, Fred starts to get accusatory and thinks he's like, you think this is funny, Barney? You think this is funny? Seeing me suffering on a toilet? And it's like, wait, Fred, no, I'm not laughing at you. I ran into some pink gas. Like, oh, you ran into some pink gas, huh, Barney? Well, I see where you stand in this instance. You know what? Screw this. You think my life's a joke? Why do you think my suffering's a joke? Why ain't you taking your hand-me-downs? And he throws a perfectly filled in, well, if he has a water bottle, he throws out the perfectly full water bottle, and then now Fred's just purposely killing himself because he's an idiot. I mean, that's most of how that works. I think this was supposed to be light blue. Yeah, teal green, and light blue. Kind of. Is this... Okay, almost. I think I need to make this one lighter. No, a little bit lighter. A little bit light green. I don't know. I don't remember. I feel like I should. Oh wait, no, that worked. Yeah. So yeah, no matter how many times you try to throw over a perfectly full water bottle at Fred, he will constantly toss it out until he dies. And it's not fun, because now Fred is purposely killing himself, and you got pretty far into it, and yeah, game over. Fred is dead. He shit himself to death. That's how it goes. So, aside from that, okay, so I think some of this has to be. I gotta remember what I did here. Did I do some pink? No. Did I do this? Yeah, that seems about right. So, Fred over here, kind of just like. We're halfway through now, I guess. You're doing pretty good getting Fred all of the water that he needs to not die. And this will pass at some point. Oh god, what happened? Oh, and that's what happened. Apparently I didn't exit out of the thing quick enough. Yeah, that worked. We'll make this 125. Go to erase. Yeah, just about. And now for the wyvern. Okay, so yeah, the background here is mostly going to stem off of the creatures here. Is that an E or a D? Did I make that? Yeah, that was D. Oh god, too much. I forgot to do this. And now we're going to get rid of some of this here. I think this might be fine. We might have to adjust some stuff here at some point. We'll see. I gotta get the lighting in now. So yeah, that's how far the dragon is. And I might not want it to be 25 because it still looks off. Yeah, that seems better. At the very least, because we already got one that's 25 and covered up most of that. Oh god, I flipped over my mouse. Did that press the 9 key? Let's see, shall we? No, it didn't. Good, great, fantastic. I can't believe we're almost done with this. It took a week to make. Christ. What color did I use? Okay, it was a light yellow kind of color, so maybe this. I'll make this bigger because it is bigger. I think it was a light yellow. It definitely does look like a light yellow in this one. I mean, of course, Gwyneth and Domador would freak out over the world dragon, seeing them. I'm about ready to jump off of the world tree to try to get closer to them. And that guy is very far away. Like, okay, what's a good way for me to be? Okay, yeah, actually, yes. So here is the size of. That does not represent it. Just about here, probably. If I would have to make an estimate. Maybe that's too small, but I don't know. Looking at this and looking at how far that is, the world dragon is definitely huge. I know for a fact that I didn't make its antlers? Horn. It's ram-like horns that huge because of like perspective and all that. But it's fine. What we have currently looks good for what we have front-facing wise, and that's the best that we can do. Okay, now for the sunlight. Get that opacity of 50 in, get this in, and then boom, this right here. Cut, whoops. A little bit up more, not too much. Actually, no, it could work, we'll see. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about right here. Part of me kind of does want to delete some of the fog behind the things so the sky doesn't look the way it looks. Like some fog here to make the sky look a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Bluer? No, don't delete that, Alright, now let's go to the wyvern and delete some of the fog back here. And, perfect. Great, fantastic. Wait, no, all of it. Keep some of that to open up as well. Awesome, great. Alright, back to this, the sun particles, which, when a drawing is this big, it makes me wonder if the particles even matter. I mean, it does show the little pixels there, and if I have a bunch here, it does have a decent amount. But I don't know if it even matters at this point. Oh, and don't forget, we haven't made the effects yet. So, of course, the general effects and looks of the distant Alpines is not matching that of the Vigor Cape or Vigor Cape drawing. Alright, let's see. Next up now is the shadows. I'm wondering if I should change the front fog, actually. I probably could. I probably could go for a more, like, actual, less... No, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Where is it? Where are you? Okay, wow, that is small. I'm gonna have to go in then for this. So a little bit here. A little bit here to kind of, like, have that match the size of the positioning of the sun. Or the sun rays, whatever that is. Yeah, look at that. I don't know what made me do the whole shadow rays thing. In a sense, it kind of doesn't matter sometimes, but it does add a little bit more extra to the drawing. I don't know why it does. It always does. And it adds like a little bit of shadows there, you know? And so you don't even notice it half the times, too. You have to, like, really look into it. And once you see it, you're like, huh, that's interesting. It's literally the shadow rays coming off of the sun rays. The sun shining out down onto something, and something blocking that light and creating that there shadow rays, right? You know how that works, right? Right? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? You've seen me do it at least a couple of times. Sometimes it doesn't matter, sometimes it does. Shadow rays on that bird right there, and the ant. I already did shadow rays on the ant. I don't know why I did that twice, but it's fine. Okay, moving all the way down here. My chair is in the wrong position. At least it feels like it's in the wrong position. Where's the other shadows again? Was it here? Yeah, it's here. It's right over here. It's in the spot right here. I remember, this was for all of them, right? Yeah, it was. Perfect. Okay, good. Yeah, this works perfectly for this. Oh, it looks cooler. And there's some background drawings that I definitely do want to, like, recreate at some point. Now, I think I'm going to be reaching at literally grasping at straws here, but has anybody seen that sleeping giant drawing I did way long ago? This is like an old drawing, like, way old. I don't even know what album this was. What album was this? I'm looking back and trying to figure out what album that drawing was in. It couldn't have been 6. It wouldn't make any sense for it to be 6 or 5. Oh my, this is album 5? I mean, yeah, it doesn't look as good in my head, but it still looks pretty damn good for the time that it was drawn. Damn. Freaking Christ. Part of me kind of wants to redraw the sleeping giant at some point. I don't know when. To be honest with you, it doesn't seem likely to redraw something like that when we already have a whole bunch of new ideas in mind. But I guarantee you the sleeping giant drawing would look a hell of a lot better in my new style. Yeah, I am curious, but right now we got other plans in mind. Alright, the last shadow ray that we need, this is not the right letter. It needs to be 1D, not 1E. Even looking at it from I'm looking at the top right, the navigator tab here, and damn, that looks freaking cool. To see these 3 distant figures far in the back. God, it's 4:40. Are you kidding me? And I still gotta make a Minecraft video. Alright, we're almost done. It's almost 2 hours and 30 minutes in. Look at that. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything important. If I am, well, you know, whatever. I think that's what I can do. I've already done so much. Let me name this layer. And before I start putting in the effects, let me see if I can't replace the fog here with something else. Would this look good? How about this? Almost. Not really. This is what I used originally. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. This? No. How about light blue? No. Did I use a light purple? Nope. All right, I think this might work. I think we just need to use this particular instance right here to, get all of this stuff in. All right, here we go. So let me just look back at this for a quick second. All right, I don't think we used light blue for this one. I think we used like yellow for this one to kind of have that like do its thing. Yeah. Yellow to, showcase that. I'm obviously not going to be able to recreate the effects that I had for that Viger cave drawing, but I could try it. I can try to get closer there. Of course, I'm not going to remember it. I'm going to have to like look at the layers, and right now we don't need to do that. Yeah, we have some teal here to kind of like hide some of these guys a little bit more. There's some of it back here as well. Although I don't know if that's the right layer of tier that I want, or like right shade of teal. All right, definitely want this light blue here, kind of. Yeah, almost. God. I mean, that is, like, looking back at this one, right, like the Viger Cape, the creature looks way further away, right? So that means these guys are close to the world dragon's territory. Okay, it's gotten to a point now where every time I try to save it, it enters not responding mode. It takes like a few seconds to fully save. That's how complex this drawing has gotten. Christ. Photoshop can barely handle shit. And do I want this to be a little bit bright? I guess it does kind of make sense for this to be somewhat brighter. Have some light shining down on again through over here, some light shining down on this carp. So this thing all the way back here. And okay, let me see. I want to try to get a light blue in here, but let me see what I did for this. No, he looks normal here. He doesn't have anything like specific going on here. Maybe we can do this question mark. Or maybe I could use this blue. This is not light blue. This is not the right. I didn't freaking set this up properly. Yeah, that could work. Yeah, sure, why not? Perfect. Some bright stuff here. Do I want this to be bright to further displace this dragon? This wyvern? That'll work. How about you? Oh, yeah. Well, okay, no. You would make more sense, because you are a little bit closer. Yeah, it's like, this one is big, but this one is bigger than that, but this one is way bigger than that. So, yeah. Alright, I know. Wait, hold on. Green area? Question mark? Maybe? Maybe we could do light green whatever the word is. How about this green? Maybe? I can't tell. Green in so many areas here to kind of make the grass look more standing out-ish. Somewhat, so to speak. And yeah, looking far back here now, the grass is starting to take effect. A little bit of green here, maybe? I don't think that matters too much if I fill all that in. Alright, you know what? I think that's it. Sepia, and we are going to get ready to finish this off quite soon, right about now. Assuming this doesn't take ages to get what we need to get. No, not that one. This one? Nope, too much teal. This one? Nope. No. How am I going to do this? I want it to be brighter blue. Would that work? You can barely notice a difference, but there is a difference. That's too dark. How about this shade? That could work, question mark. Maybe if I delete some things here, or maybe teal. Can I delete some of the teal here? Wait, what? Oh, light blues make her face that blue. I was looking at some of the characters here and making sure that the shade of what I want here works perfectly. Because up here seems fine. Just here we need to make sure it looks good. Without that is kind of important to add that extra light layer to it. And it is important to kind of like, you know, do the thing. Let me try this out for a second. Nope. How about this? Nope. You know, oh, wait, maybe pink. Nah. Alright, this is fine. That works. And, you know, I think that's it. I think we finally finished this. Man, this has been a journey, hasn't it? You've seen me draw the outline of these characters, you've seen me draw the outline of these 4, and you've seen me shade and texture. Did I do the shading and texture on all those 4? Did I? Did I? I think I did. Yeah, you've seen me shade and texture these guys, all of them in. And then you've seen me shade and texture these guys and do the background. This is perfect. It's finally done. My God! Now before we end it, I'm like, well, I don't know why I saved. I shouldn't have saved. Now it's going to take a while for this to freaking do its thing. And oh, there goes my my history tab. Don't know why it does that. So this is with the effects. Without the effects, a huge difference. These guys look even further away because of the effects. Okay, why is there a line there now? No, it's gone now. It's fixed. Alright, perfect. Please don't take ages to freaking save again. So yeah, I'm going to be posting this sometime later on Saturdays. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching this entire art videos, little mini arc. This has been a journey. We you know, spent a lot of time drawing this. You got to see the process of some of it, you know, to keep me somewhat sane and my voice less strained. I had to not show all of it, but you probably would be grateful with it for me not showing all of it because let's be honest, that's a lot. It took a lot of time to get to this point. I think it took at least half of the time, add on to like half the time of the videos time that we have currently, and added on to this with the amount that I did off camera. So, thank you all for watching this series here, this little mini series with the creatures overview. If you liked this video or these series of videos, please consider leaving a like. Comment what was your most favorite part. Did you enjoy the Neutron Adventures story? I hope you did. I'm glad I was able to piece all that together finally. And subscribe if you want more. I got a hell of a lot more drawings to come. All the safer work drawing. I'm going to do videos of them in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not draw it all in one video. Maybe we will have some drawing all in one video. You get to see the cat's ears before we're about to cut this off. So, yes, I'm glad we were able to finally get this drawing finished. I mean, look at this, man. It looks so cool. Really like this one. Even though the creatures do look somewhat simplistic, it's fine. We don't have to go too hectic on it. We've already spent so much time on it, and the week's almost over. So, yes. That's all for this video. Alright, later. Bye-bye. End recording now.